The salt lake is nice because you can't sink. So there were plenty of times when I was having a bad day at work, or just I needed to just de-stress, and I would just swim out by myself. I'd go a mile in the water, turn over, lay on my back, and just rest. Got to the point where I was so comfortable, so acclimated swimming in colder water that one time the water temperature was 50 degrees and I'm a half a mile away from the marina, and I rolled up and I was laying there, and I lay there for so long I actually started falling asleep. I'm a recreational pilot and I fly out over the Salt Lake all the time. I've never done one flight where I don't look down to see the marina and think about it. I think about the Salt Lake every single time. My swims, I've done hundreds of miles there with so many friends, and every time. We started swimming in the Salt Lake and we realized it was a lot of fun. It had a lot of its own unique challenges, and the fact that it never freezes. We went out there once and hung out when it was 28 degrees. It was a way for me to decompress. I used it for therapy. The rules that Rand Barkai set up for the IISA is you have to swim 1 mile, and it has to be in 5 degrees Celsius or colder water. And you can only wear 1 cap, non-thermal, 1 pair of goggles, and 1 pair of Speedos. It can't be thermal or leggings. They have to be just a standard Speedo. But we'd been going so regularly that I wasn't uncomfortable. I was fine. You go enough that your body actually goes through a lot of changes, so that even when I was walking up towards the water, I could feel my core warming up because the blood was already starting to come. It's like, oh, we know what's coming now. I would start getting warm and sweating before we even got in. It was the 13th of December, 2012, and a few months earlier, I'd been diagnosed with cancer, and I'd had surgery, and they said the surgery is not enough, as we hoped it would. It spread more, you need chemo. So the next day, I was having my chemotherapy port put in, and this was, you're not gonna be able to swim anymore after this, you start chemo, so this was it. It was always something I'd been interested in, cold water swimming, and doing an ice melt. When I talked to Ram, it was something I became a little more interested in doing an ice melt, but it was always something like back, and maybe later. So I was upset that I was hoping to do it at some point soon, but it's like, I can't do it when I want to because I have cancer, I have chemo, and it it really bummed me out. So Josh and I were kind of heads up swimming, just chatting and stuff, and it was nice and relaxing and very distracting because I was obviously very nervous. And then I came back in, and then I actually swam another lap, and it's like, I still feel okay. It's like, let's just go for it. I really have nothing to lose, because in reality, what's the worst that can happen? Reality is, doing these swims, if you're not properly prepared, you can die. There's a pretty good chance of it. Even if you are prepared, the chance is smaller, but it is still there. But I also didn't have any guarantees of what I was going to be going through. I was going to get 40 infusions of chemo. That wasn't going to kill me either. So, flip a coin. So my mindset changed, and I was like, well, it's now or never. So I went for it. The first 3 laps were pretty good, and then once I started on the 4th lap is when everything really got really hard. Instead, I got to the point I got really, really angry, and that helped me. I saw my friend, so they're ready to help me out when I was done. My friends are there, but they were out. I'm on my own now. I was really just focusing on my stroke, how much farther I have. My hands and feet were useless at this point, so what do I know I can actually pull with? And I was focusing on pulling with my arm and my elbow, and I was kicking the best I could, but it wasn't really doing too much, but I just plugged along. trying not to get emotional here, but just everything, it just came out. I was like, that's when it really hit me. I'm fighting cancer. I'm really only starting again when I thought I might be done. What I thought was going to be taken from me, it pissed me off. I'm going to do it when I want to, which was now. Even though it's kind of a whim, I'm doing it when I want to. And I got to do it in the Salt Lake where I've spent so much time in the last year and a half. And I was with my friends, and just so much of that just kind of all came out all at once. I still feel a connection to the lake, but not like I did when I was swimming in it all the time. It's going away. And honestly, it makes me sad. Our swim group is pretty much non-existent anymore. All the people that I swam with, I'm still friends with. Almost none of them nobody swims in the Salt Lake anymore. They tried doing a swim this year. All of it's gone. I'd swim out from the marina down to Black Rock and back again. And that was just easy 2 miles. It was like a day off swim. And by the time I'd go a few feet into the marina, you couldn't touch the bottom anymore. All the way out to Black Rock, all the way back in, and you would never touch the bottom. You can walk that now. From the marina, I can walk that exact route and never get wet. Not even like on the bottom of your shoe, it's completely dry, it's gone. All of that's gone, and it's only been a couple of years. It makes me sad. So many things are just disappearing. It's one of those things that you don't know what you have until it's gone. I don't know if I could have spent more time in it. I mean, I spent as much time as it is originally could. And I brought as many people out there as I could, and we tried to get as many organizations out there as we could. But maybe just appreciated it a little more.